Previously on Sisters in Stars Hollow. It's Kafka.
I know that I've always dreamed that some guy would get me a really confusing Czechoslovakian novel.
It's not a book about some dude who transmogrifies into a bug.
Every damn day.
That's called a myocardial infarction.
Wow, that's pretty sad.
Do you want some grape bud in your burger?
Ah, humbug. Good, so you forbid her to see the bag boy.
Well, it looks like he's moving up to produce, so he's become quite a catch. Just fill out the forms.
Oh God, we are struggling today.
It's been really stressful at work and stuff, and I haven't slept very well because the kids,
I get it.
Repeated evenings. And so I keep feeling, I wake up and I feel like my face is swollen. The listeners can't see this right now, but I'm touching my under eyes. I feel like I need to
No, I get
do
it.
something.
I get it. I went out for the first time in a while with friends last night, and we didn't do anything crazy. We were literally sitting around at a house, talking.
Yeah.
I went to bed later than usual. I got up with my kid last night, and then this morning my ears were clogged. I feel like I had to pop them. When you're on an airplane, and it's and
that just happened to you
yes,
overnight?
This never happened to me before. I was and I couldn't they wouldn't pop. And I'm
how did this happen?
I don't know.
That's never happened to me like that. I would just be asleep and that would happen.
Neither have I. This whole morning it's been like that. I'm oh God, God, I'm getting old. Jesus.
Do you own any of those jade rollers for your face?
I do. A gua sha.
Oh,
A gua
you
sha.
have
I do. Someone gave it to me as a gift. I wouldn't have necessarily bought this myself, but I have a gua sha. I've used it.
Does it help your face? Does it
my
feel
lymphatic drainage.
Does it help your lymphatic drainage in your face?
It feels nice. It does feel nice. It's cooling on the face.
Is it cooling by itself? Because I've seen people have mini fridges in their bathroom that they put stuff like this in the fridge, so it's even colder.
Even colder. No, I haven't done that. But by itself, it is, I guess, cooling. I don't know. It can feel nice.
Why are you putting your coffee cup on your face? No, wait, is that cold or hot? What is going on?
This is. I have cold brew in my cups today.
You got a cold. I didn't realize.
It feels nice on my face.
Wait, mine's warm. I have a coffee cup against my face right now. I'm trying to treat my under eyes with the warm coffee cup. I don't know if this is doing anything. Wait, so you said you're drinking cold brew?
Yeah, I'm just drinking some Stoke cold brew today. It is the unsweet black espresso blend.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah, the Stoke coffees are good. I, today, have some fresh brewed Colombian dark roasted from a local coffee roasting place.
Okay. Not a coffee shop, just a local coffee roaster.
Well,
or a shop that
purchased
roasted
whole beans from a coffee shop that was selling whole beans roasted locally.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that was more of a clear description.
It is.
Yes. Yeah, apologies. Yes. Locally roasted.
Nice.
And it's very tasty. And I brewed a pot of it before I came over here.
I needed the espresso blend today. I just needed that,
But this is my, third cup of coffee so far today. It is.
This is my second.
Oh, one of those days.
Oh, it is one of those days. It is one of those days.
Yeah, we're tired, but it's okay because the mood today is really nice. A nice day to talk about this show because it's perfect fall weather outside right now. And we have coffee. It's the weekend and it's the right vibe.
It's the right vibe. We're on episode 11. Paris is burning.
Yeah. A really kind of extreme title for what actually happened.
Yeah.
In the episode.
I feel like the episode title alludes to something more I don't even know, something big.
Yes.
Which not that what happened wasn't big.
But it wasn't the focus of the episode in the way that I was expecting.
Yeah.
So, right, because last time I predicted, I was we're going to find out more about Paris's backstory and stuff, which we did.
There was some, yeah.
But then because the title was Paris is Burning, I was thinking this is going to be a really big deal, whatever's going on with Paris. In the scope of the episode, the point of this episode is going to be all about that. And it's that kind of wasn't true. It was obviously
it added to the whole thing. It added to what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't the prime focus.
Right.
Exaggerated a little bit on the title, but yeah. All right, well let's get started. Let's get into it. I'm Julia.
I'm Alex.
And this is Sisters in Stars Hollow, Season 1, Episode 11, Paris is Burning.
So I just want to say my overall impression of this episode before we even get into the details is why is Rory the most mature person out of all adults, everyone around her right now?
I know.
She's this whole episode I was just okay. She's just going through life. She's mature. She's reacting normally to things. She's just being chill. And like everyone around her is like not. Is what this episode felt like.
Yeah, she's just like, what? Okay.
What? Yeah, it's like everyone. It's like her mom, Mr. Medina, Paris, the grandma. Yeah. They're all like, oh, I don't know if Rory can handle things. It's like, she's handling everything just fine.
Just fine. She was doing just fine.
She was not having a problem at all.
No.
So, I don't know.
I don't
anyway,
know. I don't know.
I just have to say that.
I'm with you. It's classic, like, I mean, I think she's fine.
I know. Like, I don't know where your worry is coming from.
It's projected worry. It's projected anxieties.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so the episode opens up. Lorelai and Rory are walking in Stars Hollow, and they're playing that, like, letter game where you're going through the alphabet, and you have to pick a category and say a letter, name something with the next letter in the alphabet based on that category. But they're doing it to, like, see who will win, and whoever the loser is has to clean out the fridge. And it just felt like another moment of like, Lorelai, why are you skirting your responsibilities to Rory? Or why can't you guys just do it together?
Yeah.
Like,
why?
Just why? Okay. But it's fine. She doesn't want to clean her own laundry. She doesn't want to clean out the fridge. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
But they're in Stars Hollow, and there is a adoption event of animals, of puppies happening in town. Lorelai is like, oh my gosh, puppies. And Rory's like, Mom, no, like, we can't do this. They're looking at a puppy, and that was funny. It's like they were reading about it, and it's like it can't be around anyone or anything. It's like a super skittish dog, and they're like, oh my, it was pretty funny.
It can't be around any people or animals. Like,
yeah,
okay.
Like, okay.
I don't know how to do that.
And one of the guys that's working the event comes over to try and help them, and Luke comes out of nowhere and is like, don't let these two anywhere near animals. They can barely feed themselves. Lorelai's like, oh, stop, come on. And Rory's like, do we have to bring up Skippy? And Lorelai's like, don't bring up Skippy. Don't bring that up. And Luke's asking about it. And you find out that they had this hamster named Skippy, Lorelai and Rory did. Supposedly, every time Lorelai went to feed the hamster, it would bite her and laugh at her. And Luke's like, what? The hamster would laugh at you? Like, I'm not buying this. You find out that Lorelai just stopped cleaning the cage and instead was stuffing Kleenex in there until eventually she just took that cage full of Kleenex back to the pet store and just dumped it on the counter and ran out of there. I just have to say, did Lorelai kill this hamster by stuffing Kleenex in the cage?
It was heavily implied that the hamster was alive still.
Was it? Was it though? I thought it was heavily implied that the hamster was dead. Rory said something like, it was a cage of Kleenex that moved at times. But they continue talking. Rory's like, come on, let's go. And Lorelai's like, I want a pet. And Rory's like, you have me.
Yeah, example one of like, what is this dynamic? Like, what?
I know. And they're joking with each other, but it was like, Lorelai goes, you won't bring me my slippers. And Rory's like, well, I might if you had slippers. And she says to Rory, will you wear a collar? And Rory's like, what? Why are you even saying this? And then Lorelai says, watch how you talk to me. Remember what happened to Skippy. I think it was implied that she killed that hamster by stuffing the cage with Kleenex. That is my stance. You can think he was alive, but that's my stance. But that's my spooky moment of the episode. Okay,
that's fair. That's fair. I thought that the hamster was alive and she went to return the hamster, but she had neglected it severely for days to weeks leading up to the return, which was kind of spooky.
Still bad.
Still bad. It was still bad.
Dead or alive, that's terrible.
That's not good.
That is terrible. Oh, God. That was the cold open of the episode.
And she mentioned Skippy way later in the episode.
At the very end.
Mm-hmm. And I watched the episode twice. And the first time I watched through it, I had forgotten what that even was talking about. But then when I watched it the second time, I realized that she was like referencing that. So now I'm like, was the whole point of this scene just so she could
make a joke
about Skippy later?
Yeah.
Probably.
It was.
And now I'm wondering, I'm overanalyzing this. I'm like, the cold open maybe has things in it that are supposed to like somehow tie back somewhere later.
The cold opens relate to the show. They do. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they definitely do not. But there's like things like that where there's
it's like,
callbacks to it.
or there's like some theme that's introduced that then like plays out with the other stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Like I was just kind of getting that sense that they were trying to maybe like do that somehow with the Skippy story, but then I'm like, no, I don't actually know how this relates to anything that happened other than that it's mentioned later.
Yeah, there's a mention of Skippy at the very end with Max, and he's like, what? Never mind. Never mind. So it goes into the intro song, fades out, and Lorelai is on a date with Max at his home. Yeah, Lorelai is just eating food out of a pot.
A Dutch oven, I believe it was.
Aggressively eating food out of this Dutch oven. And Max is like, okay, I'm so confused. Weren't we just having dinner? At the table, it was all set up nice. We were eating together and you took a couple bites. You weren't hungry. And now that we're cleaning up, you're starving. And she's like, what can I say? Watching someone work makes me hungry. And Max is cleaning up and he's about to like dump his leftovers that are on his plate like away. And she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, giving these to you? And she's like, yeah. And he like puts them into the Dutch oven, into the pot so she can eat them. And I'm like, this is kind of gross. I'm like, the level of comfort you're at right now is like late levels of marriage comfort.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, I'm just going to eat off your plate. Or like, the way she was eating was just very like, this is a little weird, Lorelai. Like, especially because Max is a little, I mean, he made this whole nice dinner. It was like, he made also buco. It's like, that's a very like time intensive, like, you know, simmering the meats and doing all, like, it's very, and I think that's the point, right? It's like, oh, and she's not really like that. But this was a little weird.
That part was not even like the part of the whole thing that was weird.
The whole evening.
Just the whole evening was a little
strange, and we'll get into that. It just was like, that's how it started. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Whew, all right, it's interesting. Anyway, so she's eating the meal out of the pot, and he made ossobuco, and she asked Max, how did you learn to make this? And he goes into the story of how there was this old Italian woman who used to live upstairs. She thought of me like a son. She taught me. And Lorelai's like, oh, that's nice. So it was an old girlfriend. And he's like, yeah. So Max is starting to make Lorelai some coffee, and then Lorelai just kind of is snooping around.
Rummaging through his things, which we've discussed previously makes you very uncomfortable.
Yes. Going around.
Just going around. What's this?
Yes, rummaging through his stuff. Sees that there's essays on his desk and is like, oh, have you read Rory's essay yet? And he's like, no, not yet. And Lorelai just like, oh, well, you know, I could just put an A on this for you. What?
What the heck was
Lorelai,
that?
no.
What are you doing? That's like so inappropriate.
Yes. I'm like, this is like the whole reason why, I mean, one of the many, but like a parent should not be dating your
like a teacher
that is
your child.
Like
where it's like, oh, there's a conflict of interest, lines could be crossed here. And it's like, you just like waltz up to it and it's like, oh, look, it's Rory's paper. It's really good. Like, let's put an A on this paper. Like, you think that's funny?
You think this is a joke? This is an ethics violation. I could get a lawyer and sue.
I am from the local ethics board, and this is not appropriate.
You think we're joking right
now? I represent the ethics committee of Chilton, and I can say that this was a gross violation of our written policies, okay? The Honor Council would have a field day with this footage.
The Honor Council.
Yes, when we were in school, we had an honor council. That's a real thing.
I forgot about that.
You forgot about the honor council?
Yes! I forgot about that. If you did something wrong, you had to go in front of the honor council.
You had to go, yes. If you did something, like cheated on a test or something like that, and it was alleged that you had cheated, that was normally what happened. Like, oh, like this, whatever. Something was alleged. You would have to go in front of the honor council, and they would discuss your case like it was like a case with like a jury kind of situation. It wasn't a jury, but it was like
kind of.
I mean,
it was a board. It was a board of people.
Yeah, there were students and teachers on it.
Were you part of the honor?
No,
council?
I never was.
No,
I never was, and I never had to go in front of it.
Same.
I just know of.
I forgot about that. That's too funny. Oh my gosh! But yes, it's like seriously, Lorelai. What are you doing?
I'm going to find so many examples of the first comment I made about this episode about how she's being immature in this episode. Here's another one.
Right here. Yeah.
I'm just telling you, I'm going to keep pointing that
out. That's okay.
Like, I just felt like that the whole episode. Like, there's so many things.
Yes. Totally. No, I'm with
So,
you.
yeah.
So she's like, oh, I could just give Rory an A. And Max is like, well, that wouldn't be fair to the other students' mothers who aren't here tonight.
He was still being like bantery.
He was being bantery.
Yeah.
I mean, what's he going to do, right? He likes her, whatever. Lorelai is admiring Max's book collection. She's like, oh, Proust. I've never read Proust, but I've always wanted to. No, you haven't.
How do you even know who that is, Lorelai?
Because of Rory, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because you find out that Rory
has read that book.
That book that she picks. She's trying to appeal to Max's likes and his interests, I think is what she's trying to do. But no, you've never wanted to read Proust. And he's like, oh, take it. You can read it. And she's like, oh, no, it looks so valuable. He's like, no, it's fine. Take it. Read it. And then she goes and sits down to start to read the book, which was strange.
Correct. Then he's like, not now. Yeah. Like, you have to tell her that? Like, what is this?
What is this?
What is going on?
From start to finish. We're not even done. So,
oh, yeah, we're not
even done. Okay.
We're not even at the worst part.
Exactly. Starts to read it. He says, not right now. And she's like, oh, what? And then they start making out and they start to go into the bedroom. And then Lorelai is pretending to like be a student. I mean, like, okay, you're doing some weird role play thing, but that is so freaking inappropriate, especially because of your situation. Like, that is so weird. She's like, they're going into the bedroom and she's like, Mr. Medina, is this my extra credit work? Because Missy just had to take a test.
Yeah, what the frick? That was like the weirdest.
No.
That was the weirdest written line of this show so far, I would say. I was like, what the? Okay. That is so ick and weird.
But the fact that you have a daughter that's his student and then to like, no.
It makes no sense that her character would say that.
Would say that.
This whole time with this relationship, she's been like so anxious about the whole like, my daughter is your student. She's kind of treading on like a potentially like gray area thing of like, is this okay for me to be doing? Like, she has felt like that the whole time.
Yes.
So it makes no sense to me that she would like make distasteful jokes like that.
Yeah,
right. I just don't.
No. So
it was weird.
I was so taken aback by that. I was like, oh, I hated that. So that whole date, that whole scene, I'm like, what is this dynamic here? Not about it. Flash to Lorelai is coming home. I see what they were trying to do is kind of like this funny, almost like a role reversal where Rory was staying up waiting for her mom to come home and she came home late. She's like, where have you been? It's 1 a.m. And Lorelai is coming up with an excuse. And Rory's like, did you have a nice time? Lorelai is like, not bad. And Rory says, well, that's a very big smile for not a bad night. And, they're just talking about that. And how was your night? Dean called 5 times and Lorelai is going to bed. And Rory says, you look happy. Lorelai says, I am. And that was a cute moment in and of itself.
It was cute and wholesome.
Yes. Flash to Chilton. We are in Mr. Medina's classroom. He is lecturing. He is reciting poetry from Emily Dickinson. Class ends and Madeline says, oh, I could listen to him talk about passion all day. Do you think he's dating anyone? And Louise is like, of course he is. And they're, talking about who he could be dating, a teacher, a parent. Oh, male teachers are mysterious, this, that. I bet she's dumb. I bet she's this. Saying all these things. And Rory is standing right there. She can hear them talking. Paris is there and she's like, well, whoever he's dating is a loser who doesn't care that he's making a teacher's salary or something like that. It's like, okay.
Yeah. What?
Okay. Thanks, Paris. Okay. But yeah, so Rory's right there. She overhears them talking and they walk out of the classroom. Paris walks away and then Madeline and Louise are talking and you find out from them that it's in the paper that Paris's parents are getting a divorce. This must be a very high profile divorce. The whole school is talking about it. It's in the paper. It's being written about constantly. Who are her parents?
Yeah, like
to be
why
this
would
high profile.
It's in the newspaper? Like,
yeah. God, I hope it's not in the Chilton newsletter.
Yeah, it almost like felt, it's like,
did it feel that way?
Yeah,
almost?
kind of.
But no, I think it's just in the local paper that like her parents are getting a divorce and it's being written about, all the details. I'm like, well, this is very high profile.
Very strange.
But there's a moment where Madeline and Louise say hi to Rory, just like, hey. And Rory's like, oh, hi. It's just a quick little thing where it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, she's kind of like, huh? Did they just say hi to me?
Yeah. In like a non-threatening way. It was like, oh. So flash to, we are at a Friday night dinner. It's just Emily, Lorelai, and Rory again. They're eating squab for dinner. Lorelai looks at her mom and she's like, why are you smiling like that? And there's like this whole back and forth of like, Emily's like, I'm not smiling. And Lorelai is like, I grew up with you. I know that smile. That means you have something on me. There's a smile. Why are you smiling?
It's like, why are you smiling? You know something and you're about to like drop some knowledge on
Yes.
us right now.
Yes.
What is it?
He's like, oh, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. And then Emily says to Rory, like, oh, so tell me about Parents' Day next Wednesday. And it's like, and there it is.
There it is.
And Lorelai's like, what, Parents' Day? And Emily's like, yeah, Parents' Day, where the parents are supposed to go to school with their kids all day long. And Lorelai's like, oh, was that in the newsletter? Jeez, sorry, Mom, we can't all just stop what we're doing as soon as the newsletter comes and read, everything that's
and
going
memorize
on.
the newsletter immediately.
Yeah. So they're talking about this Parents' Day, and Lorelai's like, it's next Wednesday. I didn't know. No, I'll go. I'll make it, because Emily is trying to be like, oh, I can just go in your place. She wants to just take over. And Lorelai is like, no, I will be there. I'm going to Parents' Day. But also I'm like, Parents' Day, where the parent is just with the student all day long? I mean, that's a lot to ask of a parent to do.
It is. But I remember this from when we were in high school.
Yeah.
That there were often events and things planned, and they assumed typically that people's moms were just like available during the day. Not the dads as much,
no,
but people's moms. There was definitely an expectation of like, oh, you can't just come to the women's lunch at like 1 p.m. on a Tuesday. Why not? Like, can you plan anything like for after school, like, or like after work? Like, but no, like all the like women's
or on
stuff,
a weekend.
or on a weekend. Yeah. It would all be like weekdays during the day. And it's like, okay, that was a thing.
Yeah, you're right. I know what you're talking about. The women's luncheons and stuff that would happen. Yeah. This is like an example of that.
I think so, a little
bit.
Where
it's like, you're not just available to come.
Yeah, you're not just available. Like, one of the parents can't just like come all day to school. Like, what else are you doing? It's like, yeah, some people have parents that they both work.
Right.
People.
Right.
Like, to be fair, now my kids are not old enough that I haven't experienced this yet, but I will say that I don't even know that that's just a private school issue. I think that can happen.
No.
That's like a just school in general.
I think in general,
there will be things planned where it's just like, oh, you can't just come in the middle of the day like to do this thing with your kids. It's like, no. We're working. So I just want to make that clarify that point. Like, I don't think that's just a private school.
No, I don't think so either. I think that is
just a general thing, like when you're in school.
Flash to the Gilmore house. Lorelai is getting ready for a date. Classically, frantically getting ready for this date. She doesn't know where anything is. Rory knows where all of her stuff is.
I'm shaking my head right now. Why does Rory know where all her accessories are and she doesn't? Like,
she doesn't know where anything is. She's like, Rory, this. And Rory's like, it's there. It's, in this drawer. It's that. She's like, oh, thanks. And it's just like, oh my God, that's exhausting. I'm getting tired just thinking about it. It's like, so she is frantically getting ready for this date. And Rory's like, I need to go. It's almost 8:00. Like, I need to get out of here. Rory says, Mr. Medina is going to be here any minute and I'm not supposed to be here. But it's too late. The doorbell rings and he showed up. Lorelai's like, oh, what was that? And Rory's like, it's the doorbell. The doorbell rang. Lorelai's like, who shows up for an 8:00 date at 8:00? Everyone knows that means like 8:15 or 8:20. And they're loudly yelling back and forth about this, and they show Mr. Medina outside. He can hear them like having this argument.
Hear the whole conversation.
Yes, I'm not supposed to be here. Why is he here? And he's just like, oh my God, like, what was I supposed to do? Rory's like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to answer the door. This was our rule. This has been working. Like, I don't want to do this. And Lorelai says, just go. But then Lorelai says, but no, wait, you have to answer the door because I'm not ready. Like, I'm not even dressed. And so she's like, just do it. It'll be fine. Well, no,
it's not.
No, it's not.
That was the whole point of like your rules that you keep being a stickler about over and over and over and over again about these rules, which is fine.
Yeah, right.
And actually, they make sense. And then now all of a sudden, let's just throw that out the window. Yeah, go ahead, go open the door for like what?
If you really were trying to respect Rory's boundaries, which is what you're claiming this whole time, right? Just be like, go out the back. He can wait a few minutes outside. Let me just, whatever.
Right.
And I also think, because they make this claim throughout the episode that they've been spending all this time together, right? Rory could go out the back. Lorelai can let Max in and be like, I'm still getting ready. Can you wait down here for a few minutes? It wouldn't have been embarrassing.
That wouldn't have been that weird. This isn't like your first date ever.
No. you guys have already sleeping together. You're doing all these things. Like, it wouldn't have been that weird to be like, I'm still getting ready. I mean, she was basically dressed. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
Anyway, she's like,
makes sense.
Standing out in the cold. You have to let him in.
So she makes Rory let him in.
She says, just this once, go do it. She goes to answer the door. Mr. Medina comes in. It's a little awkward. Rory's like, oh, can I get you something? We don't have anything, but if you wanted something and we had it, I could get it for you. And he's like, no, I'm fine. It's fine. She's like, we have water. It's not bad water. It's not a funny color or anything. He's like, no, it's okay. We have bottled water. Well, one bottle, actually. We really need to go to the store. And he's like, it's quite all right. Like, I'm fine. So she says, oh, should we sit? And they go to sit in the living room with each other, which also, Rory, why did you
have to do this?
No,
just
you
let him in the house.
That. Right.
Say, hey, my mom's still getting ready.
I'll see you later.
Okay, bye. That's what I would have done. And pretty sure she also would have done because she was really uncomfortable, didn't want to answer the door, and is smart enough to figure out that she can just leave.
Right.
Because also she did leave a few minutes later.
Yes, so she was like, I gotta go. She could have just been like, hey, my mom's getting ready. I'll see you. Bye.
Yeah.
But they don't do that. They're sitting in the living room together, and he asks her what the plans are for tonight. She's hanging out with Lane. She asks him what they're doing. Dinner in the movies, the usual. And they're just staring at each other. It's very uncomfortable. Mr. Medina is like, basically saying like, if things are going well, and keep going well, we might be doing this again. And she goes, sitting uncomfortably. And he's like, well, no, just seeing each other outside of school. They're kind of talking about that. And then all of a sudden she's like, okay, I've got to go, Mr. Medina. Like, why didn't
you leave earlier in the conversation?
Right.
It's okay.
But anyway.
It's a contrived thing so that the right things can happen, so that the right things can happen later.
But it's frustrating. And he says to her, why don't you call me Max when we're outside of school? And she says, no, I can't do that. You're my teacher, and that feels disrespectful to call you Max. And it might get confusing. Like, I don't know. And Max comes up with, well, why don't we come up with non-Chilton names for each other outside of school? And he says, what if I'll call you Rebecca and you'll call me? And Rory goes, Norman? And he's like, I look like a Norman to you? And she's like, I don't know. I was watching Psycho earlier, and that's the first name that came to mind. And then it's even worse because it's like,
oh, so I remind you of the guy from Psycho?
Of Norman Bates? Like, okay.
And
she's like, Alfred? He's like, I'll take Norman. Norman is fine.
I just now am thinking like, okay, did she think of Alfred because of Alfred Hitchcock?
Oh, that's probably what it was. I was trying to make that connection. I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, why Alfred? Now right now I'm like, well, maybe she was thinking of Alfred Hitchcock.
100%. 100%. And he's like, we'll just go with Norman.
Just go with Norman.
That's so funny. Because already it's like, Norman?
Norman?
And it's even worse because it's like, Norman Bates? Really? Oh, God.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And so Rory goes to leave and she says, Norman, have her home by 10. Fade to Luke's. Rory is at Luke's. Suki and Jackson walk in. They come in and they are arguing about stuffed fried squash blossoms. Suki needs those. Suki needs her squash blossoms because people come from all over just to have her stuffed fried squash blossoms. She says, that is what I hear day in, day out. Jackson's like, can't you try stuffing something else? And Suki's like, a zucchini tush? I can't even say it.
Zucchini tush.
Thank you.
Julia.
I keep saying tush.
Not a zucchini tush. A zucchini tush. He holds up a vegetable that he has engineered, and it's apparently called a zucchini tush. Julia's laughing too hard. She can't even...
Can't even say it. And Suki's like, you want me to serve my customers a genetically engineered vegetable named after a butt?
That's my quote of the episode. Yes. That's my vote for quote of the episode.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh my God. And Jackson is like, it's a perfectly good vegetable. You could get it on the map. You could make this famous.
So funny.
So funny. And Suki's like, no, I want my blossoms. And he's like, fine. If you want to think small, I'll get you your blossoms.
Quick aside about the zucchini tush.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that what he was actually holding in his hand was a mirliton. Do you know what that is?
No. I have no idea what that is.
It's a vegetable that grows in the South U.S. That we don't have up here in the Midwest. And I know what it is because an old coworker of mine brought me one. I don't remember how this came up, but we had been talking somehow, and this came up and I was like, I have no idea what that is. And she was like, you don't know what this is? I was like, no.
No.
Because she lives in the South. We were together on a work trip and she actually brought me one.
Okay. Wait, so what is it?
It's called a mirliton or a coyote is the other name for it. It's like a kind of type of squash, but that just only grows there, or they just only have it there. It's like a locally,
in the South.
Not local, but just like more
Southern.
Yeah, Southern thing.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's what he was holding.
Oh, okay.
But they might have like painted it a weird green color to look a little bit different. Like,
maybe.
Like a zucchini color green because they're like light green normally. But I could tell like the shape of it. I'm like, I think that's one of those things. That
maybe it was. It could have been.
Because that's like what they look like.
Yeah. Oh my
And I just thought that
gosh.
was like funny.
That is funny. Fun fact.
Yeah.
I like that.
Zucchini tush.
Zucchini tush, not touche.
Not touche.
So Jackson leaves, Lorelai comes in, and she found her ice skates. Her and Rory are going to go ice skating. They had this little ice skating date that they were going to do together.
She found her ice skates in, quote, the drawer with the roasting pans. I mean, I know she's a disorganized person, but like, what?
It's chaotic. It is so chaotic.
I won't ask further.
I don't even know. I have no comment on that, to be honest. I kind of was like, yeah, I think that's how I felt too. I was like, I can't even. Like, that's just so exhausting. But so they're talking about that with Suki, and they're telling Suki that they plan on reenacting the Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding debacle. It's like, what? Don't do that.
Why would you reenact that? Somebody was injured.
A violent scene.
Like,
but Lorelai's happy about it. She's like,
Laura's like, this is hilarious. Like, okay.
Lorelai's weird. Like, she gets like excited about like
weird violent things.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've noticed this is a pattern.
Yes.
Right? Before this episode. But like,
I think in the last one we did. And now it's like, this is another moment where she's like, yeah, we're going to reenact that. It's like, what? Oh, God.
Yeah, but like all of the things you could like associate with like, oh, we're going to go ice skating. It's like, that is what you think of? That's why it's like the big question marks. Like,
exactly. Interesting sense of humor, but okay.
Okay.
But Luke is there and he's like, when was the last time you put those on? They look rusted. Luke is like, hand those over. I'm going to sharpen up the blades for you. And Suki's like, you get really good service here. Which I thought was so funny. She's like, wow, he's going to sharpen your ice skates? Like, wow, this is really good service.
You get really good service here.
And Lorelai says, yeah, I do. Just a little funny comment. But Suki leaves, and then Lorelai and Rory are talking about the ice skating. Lorelai makes a mention of the fur-lined skirt be damned, I'm going to wear it, which I have to point out because in my couple rewatches, I didn't hear her say that. And then I was like shocked by what she was wearing in the later scene.
I will admit, I didn't know she mentioned it in that scene either. Because I also was shocked by what she was wearing later. But
still shocking.
It's still shocking. This doesn't change the shock.
But it was mentioned.
It does explain it a little bit more.
But Rory says, why don't we invite Max to go skating with us? And Lorelai's like, Max? Rory's like, yeah, I thought maybe he'd want to go. And Lorelai says, when did you start calling him Max? Rory explains the whole conversation of what happened. And Rory says, because, you're obsessed with him. And so I just figured he might want to come. And Lorelai is like, well, I wouldn't say obsessed. I don't know about that. And Rory says, I like him. I like you two together. I think this is good. And Lorelai is like a little uncomfortable. And she's like, okay, good. That's good. And well, I don't think he skates, so I'm not going to invite him to that. And Rory says, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But maybe we can all do something else together. That might be nice. And it like kind of fades in on Lorelai's face. And she's just like,
clearly disturbed by something.
Yes.
But you don't know what it is yet.
Flash to the Gilmore house. Suki and Lorelai are in the kitchen. Suki is helping Lorelai soak her feet after their ice skating adventure. Suki is asking Lorelai about Max. She's like, oh, no, Max tonight? Like, he seems like a great guy. Lorelai's like, yeah, he's a great guy for someone, maybe just not me. And it's like, oh my gosh. And Suki's like, oh my God, you're doing this thing.
Like, what?
How long have you guys been seeing each other? 2 months? Oh, okay. You're doing this thing that you do every time you're with a guy at the 2 month mark. You start cha-chaing away.
You start cha-chaing. I'm not cha-chaing. You're cha-chaing.
You're cha-chaing. Lorelai says, well, no, Rory is starting to get attached, and that's not good. And Suki's like, yeah, Rory's the one that's getting attached. Yep, okay. And Lorelai says, but since I've decided that Max is not the guy, it's better to break it off before someone gets hurt. Suki is like singing Ricky Martin songs, and Lorelai is like, you will not stand there and sing Ricky Martin songs to me. She's like, this is not a pattern. And Suki's like, but no, usually you don't get so upset and defensive during the cha-cha talk. So you must really like this guy. And Lorelai says, when did you become the expert on having a relationship? You haven't had a relationship in years. And then immediately she's like, oh my God, I am so sorry. That was a terrible thing to say. I shouldn't have said that. It's not okay to talk to you like that. I'm so sorry. And Suki's sad, obviously, that she said that. And she's like, it's not that I haven't wanted to. I've just been really busy. I work all these jobs. I do all these things. And Lorelai's like, no, you're right. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Like, you can sing more Ricky Martin if you want. Like, I deserve it. I deserve that. And Suki's like, oh, well. She's into superstition, black cats and voodoo dolls. I love that song.
Yeah, it's a good song. Very catchy, good song.
I grew up listening to that song. Living la vida loca.
And this whole time, Lorelai's sitting there wearing a outfit with like fur.
Black shirt with fur-lined cuffs. Yeah, white fur-lined cuffs.
But they're like pom-pommy almost vibe. And she has pigtails.
Pigtails. With like little kids' hair ties. With those little balls.
Yes.
From like the 90s.
Yes, like the 90s little girl hair tie things for pigtails. Why?
As soon as that scene flashed up on the screen, I was like, I literally gasped. I was like, oh my God, what is she wearing?
Why do you even have these things? Was my reaction.
Yeah,
like, why do you even have these items?
I struggle so hard because it's like, I know Lorelai wants to be fun and doesn't want to take life too seriously. And there is nothing wrong with that. And it's like, you can do that, but still have some maturity. Like, I think like there's a way to like, I'm going to dress up cute for our ice skating thing, but not wear that,
Yes, I do know.
Like, I want to feel cute
how I know,
and
but
fun.
I know.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
like
there's a way to do that without it being like, you look, like, why are you trying to be a little girl? And this whole episode, there's like these weird, like the opening scene with the Mr. Medina.
I know.
This.
It's
and
like,
it's like,
there's this whole like, like she's trying to like emulate this, like, I'm a kid vibe.
Yes,
kind of.
It's disturbing.
It's like really weird. Okay, like I told you, like this episode, and and I guess my comment about the whole maturity thing was mostly, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, at her. Like, it was mostly because I'm like, why is Rory is just going through life being a very mature, reacting normally to things person, and it's like you are going through all of these things not acting that way. Like, like every single thing that happens, I feel like there's some type of like, what, like element to it. It's like, why? It's just weird.
It was weird. I don't know. So,
I don't know. I don't know.
It just added to the whole, like, what is happening? That outfit, I just like, I was like, what is that? But yeah, so we flash to Chilton. There's just a quick scene. You see Tristan. He's also talking about Paris's parents' divorce. Apparently, Paris's dad has a second family in Paris. Rory overhears that a little bit. And then she's at her locker, and Mr. Medina comes out of his classroom and says, oh, Rory, I enjoyed your paper on Dickinson. And you can tell he's a little nervous, and he's like, I just want to know, is your mom coming to Parents' Day? Trying to get an accurate number for the cookie count. And Rory says, oh, she's coming. And he says, oh, well, I hadn't heard from her in a while and just wondering. And she says, yeah, she's coming. Put us down for 4 cookies. We're going to want more than just one. He kind of has a relief almost, like, oh, okay, good. Okay, I will. She's coming. I'll make sure I get more cookies for her. But you could tell he was stressed. Yeah. Flashback to the Gilmore house, and Lorelai is cleaning out the fridge. Finally cleaning out the fridge. That's a callback from the opener.
Yep.
Because there is just tons and tons of leftovers in that fridge, and they are just tossing them all. Tons and tons of leftovers that have probably been in that fridge for a very long time. Rory is telling Lorelai that Paris's parents are getting a divorce, and just talking about those things. And she mentions to Lorelai, like, it was weird too. Like, it's changed things. Like, Madeline and Louise, like, said hi to me, which was weird. And a lot of strange things happening at school with Paris and that dynamic. And then she asked Lorelai, how's Swan's Way coming? Which is that Proust book that she borrowed from Max.
Right.
And Lorelai's like, oh, I finished it. And Rory's like, you're kidding. That took me forever to read. I had to renew it 10 times. And Lorelai's like, the first sentence. I finished the first sentence. And then I got busy and yeah, I never actually wanted to read that book, but
right.
Lorelai says to Rory, can you give that back to Max for me? And Rory's like, well, just give it to him tomorrow at Parents' Day. And then Lorelai is like, well, I'm not sure if I can make it. Rory's like, what? What do you mean? And Lorelai is like, I have that thing at the inn with the flags and the little men and the peanuts and the thing. And Rory's like, what?
What?
Little men?
It's like, what are you talking about?
What? This is BS. Like,
yeah.
And Lorelai's like, I just don't think I can go. So if you can give Max the book back. And Rory's like, why don't you just give it back to him yourself? And Lorelai's like, well, I don't know when I'm going to see him next. Would you just give him back the book? And Rory's like, wait, what? Are you breaking up with him? Oh, this makes so much sense. He said he hadn't heard from you in a while. You guys haven't been talking. Then Lorelai's like, well, he shouldn't be asking you about me. And it's like, well,
that's not exactly what happened. But
no, but also like you also just ghost him basically.
Yeah.
You've been ghosting him, so doesn't know what to do.
Right,
you haven't returned his calls. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And Rory's like, what? Why are you breaking up? And Lorelai's like, it's just not working out. Rory's like, so that's why you're not going tomorrow. Lorelai's like, no, it's the thing at the end. And she's like, that is total BS. There's no thing at the end.
There is no thing at the end. You're breaking up with Miss Martina and you're lying to me about it.
And he promised you would go. Like, this is, come on.
This is ridiculous. Once again, she's just like
being childish.
A child.
Yes. Yeah. And Rory's getting pissed. And then Lorelai's like, fine, I'll go. Flash to Chilton, Parents' Day. Lorelai and Rory are walking together. Lorelai says to Rory, do you still like me? I will deal, they're just having a little back and forth. Rory's still upset at her, but Lorelai says, I will deal with a Max thing myself. You don't need to be involved in this. They do a little pan to Paris and her mother. They are there, and Paris's mom is like, I don't want to be here. It's like, well, then
why are you here in a locker?
Why did you even show up at all? If they had this whole argument where Paris's mom is like, I don't want to be at this place where everyone's talking about me and looking at me. And it's like, well, then you shouldn't have come at all. Like,
that was a little bit of a confusing aside. The pan over to them. Why is the mom even there? Why did she even come there? She just came there to be like, I don't want to be here, and then stalks off. Yeah, it's like, okay. Why were you in the school?
You shouldn't have
Paris's
come.
Locker?
Yes, but. It's like, all right, it was just an interesting little aside, but just showing that Paris is struggling with her parents' divorce.
Yeah, because also in that conversation, the mom is like nagging her too about things, and it's just like, okay, this is not a good relationship here.
But they go back to Rory and Lorelai, and you find out that the first class of the day is English class with Mr. Medina. So they're in class, and Mr. Medina is lecturing and just talking about different things, and he says every writer should read some Proust every day. He says, normally I would impress the parents by reading a passage from Proust from Swan's Way, but I misplaced my copy. All right, Mr. Medina. That's a nice passive-aggressive way to be like...
somebody hasn't talked to me.
Yes.
In days.
Basically, yeah. And then Lorelai has the book and she has it under her purse.
Yeah, she's
puts it away.
She's in the open in a group of people holding the book he's just mentioned. Okay.
But the bell rings. Everyone is dismissed. Lorelai tells Rory to go ahead. She's going to talk to Max. They say, hi, nice to see you. It's a little awkward. She's like, I've been really busy. I wanted to give you your book back. I read the first 20 pages and then I got really busy. And he's like, keep it. She's like, no, I can see you really need it. As you just pointed it out that you...
To this whole room of people, students and parents, that you misplaced your copy of it. Here it is back.
And he's just like, what's going on, Lorelai? What's happening? I left you 4 messages. And she's like, I know, I've been meaning to call. Sorry I didn't call, but here's your book. And he's like, why do you keep trying to give me my book back? What is going on here? And she's just like, I just came to give you your book. And he's like, wait a minute. Are you breaking up with me? What? Not only are you breaking up with me, but you're doing it really badly. This is...
What is happening?
I expect a better back and forth from you than this. Our back and forth is on par with each other. It's poetic. It's good banter. And you were just doing it badly. And she's like, am I being graded?
Yes.
Yeah, because I would have expected a better dumping from you. She's like, nobody's dumping anybody. I just need space. And he's like, well, I don't. I want as little as space as possible. 100 clowns crammed into a Volkswagen. That's the kind of non-space I'm talking about.
Spooky moment.
Yeah. I was like, clowns have been brought up again. There's another mention of clowns.
Another mention of clowns. Quote, I want as little space as possible. 100 clowns crammed into a Volkswagen. That's the kind of non-space I'm talking about. What?
That's suffocating. That would kill you.
You'd be dead.
Instant death. He's trying to suffocate you and murder you.
Who comes up with...
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Who comes up with 100 clowns crammed into a vehicle? Like, what?
Yeah, it's like, are you trying to be romantic?
Yeah, what's that supposed to be the intent of this interaction?
Right.
Like, that's not I don't know what that is.
It's disturbing.
I don't know what that is. Anyway.
Yeah, that was also a contender for spooky moment for sure.
Yeah. He's like, I want to be really close to you. It's like, that could be romantic.
Yeah, right. But then it's like 100 clowns.
It needed to be stated in a different way. We're gonna move past that. I just want to be really close to you. I don't want any space from you.
So Lorelai is like, nope, it's just not working. And I've been trying to tell you all along and you weren't listening. And now Rory's getting attached and I'm afraid she's going to get hurt. And I realized how much we could hurt Rory. Max is like, what? I don't understand this. We went through this. We decided Rory could handle this. He's totally in the right here.
He's totally right.
And she goes, maybe she can, maybe she can't, but I'm not ready to find out. And he's like, no, I'm not going to let you off that easy. Like, this is stupid. This is so dumb. And she's like, there's nothing we can do about it. And he's like, yes, there is. No, there isn't.
Yeah, she's being all stubborn. She's just like, we blah, 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 blah. That's how it was.
Yes. And he's like, this is not you. This is not the person I've come to know. And she's like, well, you don't know everything about me. And he's like, I guess not, because you're blaming Rory, and giving me lame apologies and all this stuff. And she's just like, just take the book. And he's like, you've missed me. You're missing me right now. And he's like, answer me. And she's like, class is over. And he's like, well, we're back in session. And she's like, well, I didn't raise my hand, so don't call on me. I'm like, That was good. That That's their usual back and forth.
Yes.
And that was good.
That was good. That was okay. That was a good one.
And she's trying to give the book back. And he's like, I swear to God, if you try to give me that book one more time. And then they're staring and there's this romantic tension. And they start kissing. But then,
dun, dun, dun,
Paris walks by and sees them kissing in the classroom.
I need to point out something. While they're having the argument, there's a door into the classroom. It's away from them. It's slightly inset into the wall, and it looks like it doesn't have any windows. But then all of a sudden, when this happens, there's a door with like a big window right next to them. I can't be sure, but I'm pretty sure that the layout of the room changed to allow this to occur. I just had to point that out.
I didn't even notice that. Oh my God.
I did because, like, when they start talking, like, because everybody leaves the room after the class and she kind of stays behind, he, like, goes and closes the door. Like, it's kind of a thing, they, like, start talking and he goes and he, like, shuts the door and he's like, what's going on? They start the whole thing.
Yeah.
The only way that this would happen is if there was, like, a second door
in the back of the class.
Somehow, like, by his desk next to the other door. No, like, I'm pretty sure it's just, like, a loophole thing that happened.
That's totally a loophole.
And I noticed it, and I was kind of like, that's funny. But okay. There's magically a door here with a big window into the hallway.
Another point of magic that is happening. Paris did some sorcery to just like,
yeah,
what's happening in here? But yeah.
So she sees them.
She sees them. And she's like, oh my gosh. They flashed the dining hall. Paris comes in and she starts telling people about what she just saw, and word is traveling fast, like at an insane pace, I think.
Like, it's traveling faster than she can just walk through the room.
Yeah.
Like, she's, like, walking towards Rory and, like, going, pss, 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 like, almost like, literally like that. Yeah. And, like, in 3 seconds, the entire cafeteria knows the story.
Yes, everyone.
Like, it is immediately everywhere. Tristan even comes over to Rory before Paris can even get over to her.
Yes.
And he knows already.
And he knows and makes a kissing face at her, which, like, isn't out of character for him. So she was like, what?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's just like, okay.
Which, like, it's kind of funny if you think about it in, like, a vacuum like that itself. It's just like Tristan comes over and it's just like, oh, God, get the fuck out of here. Like
Yeah, like that didn't even like tip her off.
No,
She's
just
out of the
like,
ordinary.
Okay. Tristan's being Tristan, But yeah, an insane rate that this news traveled. It was like insane. But it's getting louder in there. People are just getting
Like,
wildly.
Ah!
Yes.
Ah! She's like looking around.
Rory's
What is going on?
Yeah. She's kind of like looking up, like, what the heck is happening? It's getting a little rowdy in here.
It's getting rowdy. The volume is increasing.
Yeah. And Paris walks over and Rory's like, what's going on? Paris is just like, oh, everyone's talking about the mom that Mr. Medina was seen kissing just now. And Rory's like, what? And Paris says, and the weird thing is, it looks a lot like your mom. It's like, I saw them. And is super smug, telling Rory this information. And Rory's just like, what? And as that happens, Lorelai walks into the dining hall and is just like, all like, boopity boop boo. And it's like, oh, did you save me some jello? And Rory's just like, oh my God, is pissed, storms out of there, running away. And Lorelai follows her and is like, where are you going? And Rory just turns around and is like, were you kissing him? Mr. Medina, were you kissing him just now? And Lorelai's like, yes. And Rory's like, what the hell is wrong with you? And Lorelai's like, I don't know. Ray's like, I thought you were breaking up with him. I told you to be nice, not that nice. Like, Jesus, oh my gosh, being nice in your breakup. Like, what the heck are you doing? That's a little extreme. And Lorelai's like, I don't know. It wasn't supposed to happen. And Rory's just like, Paris saw you, and it is now all over school that you were kissing him. And Lorelai's like, I'm sorry. This is exactly why I didn't want to date him. And Rory's like, you didn't want to date him so that you wouldn't come to my school and kiss him and humiliate me? And she's like, yeah. That's exactly why. She's like, okay, honestly, yeah, probably, right? But it's like, okay, you also didn't have to do that. And Rory's just like, why would you do this? If you like him, why are you breaking up with him? Like, what
is going on? Like, this is so confusing.
Yes.
Like, you are being ridiculous. I don't know what's going on. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Lorelai says, I broke my rules and I did all these things. And Rory's like, I'm not a kid anymore. You made all these rules years ago when I was a kid, and you're sticking to them now and it's crazy. And Lorelai is like, well, those rules are why we are doing so well and why you're here. Rory's like, well, maybe they need to change. Lorelai says, that's for me to figure out. And then Rory's like, can you decide before French class? I don't want you making out with Mrs. Collins. Lorelai's like, I can't guarantee anything. It's funny, but crazy. Absolutely crazy. We flash, it's Friday night dinner. Emily opens the door. And she is already upset. She is pissed. She says, Rory, go upstairs. I need to talk to your mom. Lorelai's like, gee, Mom, did I do something wrong? And Emily's like, your behavior baffles me. Rory goes to that school and has a reputation to protect, and you're supposed to shield her from shame, not cause it. Kissing a teacher in a classroom on Parents' Day, like, what were you thinking? Lorelai's like, how did you even hear about this? Like, what? Emily's like, I have friends. I'm friends with the headmaster's wife. Everyone's talking about this. And Lorelai says, I made a mistake. And Emily's like, there's mistakes and then there's this. Like, this is so uncalled for. And honestly, Emily is in the right here. And Emily says, do you even know him?
That one was a little bit like, really?
Yeah,
like,
okay. She didn't just show up and start making out with the teacher.
Yeah, no, Mom. Like, I've been dating him. Like,
I've been dating him. What is the reasoning for all of this? And Lorelai says, Max is a great guy. He's an amazing guy. He's smart. He cooks. He's sweet. And says, I was going to break up with him and the kissing just happened. And Emily says, you always let your emotions get in the way. You don't think. He's just a man, Lorelai. And Lorelai says, no, he's not. Emily says, are you saying all of this is worth it because he's the love of your life? And Lorelai says, I don't know. He might have been. And then Lorelai gets up and leaves. Flashback to Chilton. It's Madeline, Louise, Paris. They're all talking. Louise makes a comment being like, I told you he wouldn't date a teacher. And someone's like, I wish my mom would sleep with my teacher. It'd make midterms a lot easier. Rory says to Paris, like, what is wrong with you? Your family is going through all this big scandal and you saw how much that hurt you and affected you. And you turn around and do this? And you're hurting a lot of people. And I'm not just talking about me and my mom. What about Mr. Medina? He really likes you. He holds up your papers in class and tells everyone how great you are. He respects you. And then you turn around and spread stories about him.
Then she says, well, I like Mr. Medina. And then Rory goes, well, I'd take some dance classes because the way you express yourself needs a little work.
That's my quote of the episode.
Which is my other contender for quote of the episode.
Yeah. Oh, just so good. And then Paris is just like, well, yeah, you're right. I guess I probably shouldn't have told people what I saw. I'm sorry. Things have not been good lately, and I just didn't want people talking about me anymore. That's all. Rory's like, well, hey, if you ever want to talk, and Paris is like, no, we're not friends. And Rory's like, but if you ever do. Paris is like, but I probably won't. She keeps like turning around me like, I'm not going to want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And they're both like, I doubt you will, but I'm here, but I know, but I won't, but I will, but I won't.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not holding my breath. And it was this really funny back and forth.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm here, but you're there, but I won't want to talk to you. I doubt you will.
I doubt you will. I likely will not ever talk to you, but you are there to talk to. It was like,
It's
like
it was this just little funny thing between them. Flash to the Independence Inn. We are in the kitchen. Jackson is delivering the squash blossoms to Suki. He delivers them and says, hurrah, mediocrity wins again. I'm not even going to charge you for these. I'm not going to profit off the death of creativity. I would rather starve than know that my food was paid for by the lowered expectations of the American public or something just going on. It's really funny. Suki is just looking at him and is just like, Jackson, would you like to go to dinner sometime with me? And Jackson just stops and says, okay, and doesn't know what to say. And Suki says, okay. And then he just walks out and leaves. Whoa.
Yeah.
Did you see this coming?
I did a little bit.
Okay.
I was not totally shocked.
Yeah.
I thought they had something synergy going on, the two of them.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I don't know that I've mentioned that in our discussion.
I don't know if you have. That's why I was like, oh, did you see that?
But
coming?
I didn't know that was going to happen like in this episode right now.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I didn't see that coming. But like potentially something going on with the two of them. Yeah, I was like, oh, because that's the way that their banter is.
Yeah,
okay,
it
like,
makes
they're friendly.
sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
exactly.
I feel like when I first watched this, I didn't necessarily see that coming, but I also never see anything really coming. So,
okay,
who am I to say? Like, I'm always like, what? It was like, that probably was obvious. but yeah, so Suki asks Jackson out. New development.
Yeah, and I'm excited about this because I, like you just said, like I do think it like kind of makes sense. They both like food. They also
work
both
together.
Have
They're very passionate,
quirky personalities, but very passionate.
Quirky and passionate. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exciting.
Yeah.
Flash to a coffee shop. Lorelai is meeting Max. Walks in and sits down next to him and, asks how he's doing. She says, oh, that Parents' Day was fun, and explains to Max about how everything went down. Rory invited you to go skating. Then I just got all in my head because what if we break up? Because then she'll be crushed. And then what if you and I break up and then I'll be crushed? And then just all hell broke loose. And I'm so sorry. I freaked out. And he tells her that he got talked to about their kissing.
About the incident.
The incident. Basically told him, like, this could jeopardize your career here at Chilton. And Max is like, but he was right. Like, that was so unprofessional. I never should have done that. I never would have done anything like that. And he should have fired me. And I'm on probation right now for even doing that. He says to her, like, I didn't think this would be so difficult. And you did try to warn me. And she says, it's my fault. If I hadn't done all those things, then the kiss at the school wouldn't have happened. And Max says, I don't know what to do. I've never been in a relationship like this before, and I'm not thinking straight. That was a great kiss, but maybe we need to take some time away from each other and figure out how to do this so it's not so hard. I don't have all the answers right now. And she says to him, like, I really like you, Max Medina. And he says, I really like you, Lorelai Gilmore, but gets up and says goodbye. And they say bye to each other and he walks away. And then they flash back to the Gilmore house, and Rory is coming home from something, is calling out for her mom, and she finds Lorelai upstairs crying in her bed, and Rory goes and lies down with her and comforts her, and they lay there silently, and it fades to the credits. And that was the end of episode 11.
I just have to say how all that went down was a little bit upsetting.
The breakup,
stuff.
yeah.
Because, like, the entire time that they've been together, he has been the one being like, we'll figure it out. We'll work through things. We'll do this, we'll do that. Then he just kind of changed his tune at the end. But also, like, he's the one that initiated them kissing. You're the one that did that. I don't know. But then at the same time, she also, like, obviously did a bunch of stuff that was just like, what? Like, stop. I'm not upset about them breaking up necessarily. It's just like how it happened seemed kind of like annoying.
What was Lorelai doing that whole time? I mean, she was ghosting him. Then she goes to go break up with him, but then doesn't. I know he instigated it.
But that wasn't the reasoning that he gave, though, I guess. That maybe is why I feel that way. Again, I'm not upset that they broke up, and I think that, yeah, he has a right to do that. It's just the reasoning that he gave.
I hate the reasoning of, like, I can't think straight when I'm with you. It's like, what?
Yeah, Yeah, like, I don't know. Just the
That's
whole,
a
like...
classic trope of stuff where it's like, I'm not thinking. It's like, okay,
like, what?
all right. Well, just stop for a second and think.
Maybe that's just what... Maybe it's just that. It's just that piece.
Yeah.
The reasoning that he gave of why they needed to take a break seemed a little bit, like, out of character for him a little bit. Like, what? That's totally different than, like, anything that you've said ever. So
but I think
that's the only reason why I had that reaction.
Yeah.
Like, I think they probably do need some space.
They need some space, but also he's also like, you know what? I almost lost my job. I just need to we need to take some space. Let's just take a break. Let's just...
True. That's true.
I get it. But then I also get Lorelai being really upset at the end because she's probably thinking like, oh God, I did this to myself, you know? And that's hard.
Yeah. I don't know how I felt about this episode.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't like a warm, fuzzy one. So it was just like...
now like 3 episodes in a row.
I want another warm, fuzzy episode. I want another episode like the Magical Snow one. I liked that episode.
You will like the next episode. Okay, the next episode is one that, like, when I think of, like, oh, I'm excited for you to watch this show, is one that I'm like, oh, this is a good one.
Okay, I need to watch it. I just feel like there's been so much, like, pain. There's been, like, in the past, recently, it's like everyone's fighting and, like, arguing and, like, are not getting along. And now, like, she just went through a breakup. I don't know.
Yeah, that has been this one in the past too. But the next one has a little more of a lighter tone to it. It does. You will enjoy next episode. That one is one of my favorites as well.
Okay, special moments recap. Starting out with fashion ins and outs, which we didn't talk much through this other than the skating outfit, which was like, what is
I don't know if I have ins. You might have ins, but the out, it was just so like... What is that skating outfit? The fuzzy white cuffs, fuzzy little ball pigtails. Oh, no. No.
I actually do have a couple of things to comment on fashion-wise, I will say. Okay. So first of all, at the beginning of the episode, she's wearing that coat that I liked from last time.
Oh, yeah.
Or the jacket. She's wearing it again.
Yes.
I was like, oh, it's the jacket. And then I also wrote down that I liked Rory's sweater that she was wearing at the Friday night dinner where they're talking about that Parents' Day is coming up.
What was she wearing?
She's wearing like this red sweater, but it just like looks nice.
Yeah, that is pretty. I feel like that color actually complements Rory very well. She wore that in the Kiss and Tell episode, maybe that same sweater.
I agree.
It looks nice. It's kind of a similar-ish color to the dress she was wearing at the Christmas party.
Yeah,
it complements her very, very
well. That like dark reddish maroon color just looks so good on her.
Really pretty. Brings out her eyes. I think it's nice.
Another thing we did not talk about is actually the sparkly skirt that Lorelai is putting on when she's getting ready for her date.
Actually did make a note of that.
I was like, what is that?
What is that? Yeah, that.
It's funny because like she actually had like a light blue like slip dress thing on, and I thought that was her. Yeah, I thought that was her outfit. Like that she was gonna wear that with something like over it. But then she's putting on this like sparkly skirt like over it with this like grandma pattern on it, and I was like, what?
I did think that. I'm like, that is something they got from the costume closet, and they were like, here, you're gonna be putting this on.
Matronly is the right word, right?
Very matronly.
It's very matronly.
It is.
I didn't like that skirt.
No.
The only other thing I wanted to just maybe discuss is like her outfit at Parents' Day.
Yes.
What do you think of it?
She's wearing something appropriate to be at an event like this. That was what I thought, because usually she's wearing, like, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
I think she looks put together. I thought she looked put together.
It was good. I thought it looked really nice on her.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting because it was like a leather jacket. It wasn't her normal, like, professional look necessarily. Like, it felt more like...
I think she's in business casual.
Is that fitting that jacket that she's wearing? I thought that it looked good. It just was like, oh, it's very, like, sporty, maybe?
Yeah, sporty. She looks nice.
Yeah, she looked nice.
Yeah.
She looked nice. It was, like, different.
It's part of her fall. She's wearing a lot of leather jackets in her fall attire this season.
Maybe I just haven't noticed that before this. Maybe she has and I just didn't notice.
In the infamous not wearing underwear outfit, she's wearing like a long leather jacket.
True.
With her.
That was leather too, yeah.
She kind of has that look going this season.
Okay, that's fair.
This is her vibe this season. I've noticed like the black, the leather.
This season.
Because it does change. And actually, so far this season, her hair is very like bouncy. It got curls or waves to it. She's doing a lot of that with her hair too, which I think does look nice. It's a very early 2000s, 90s look with the clips and stuff that she's doing in her hair, but she looks good.
Yeah, she looked good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then spooky moments. We have 3.
The first one was... I believe she killed...
You think she killed the hamster?
I think she killed Skippy the hamster, yeah.
Number 2 is 100 clowns crammed into a Volkswagen.
Yes. The third thing could be when Rory and Lorelai are going to go skating and she like is like, we're going to reenact when Tanya Harding like broke someone's leg.
Yeah, Tanya Harding broke someone's leg and then that person was out for the season. Ha ha ha, that's hilarious. I think that was
that's probably the third one, yeah.
So at least nothing involving Dean this time.
No, Dean was mentioned like briefly. He called Rory at the beginning of the episode, but like he wasn't even in this episode. So no, Dean gets a break this episode from the spookiness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was too disturbed by, I'm pretty sure she killed that hamster by like suffocating it. So yeah. But I think yours is the
100 clowns.
The 100 clowns. Yeah. That's fair.
I mean,
it's close. As I've mentioned before, clowns, I don't like them.
Yeah.
Clowns are mentioned again. I don't like it.
What about wholesome moments?
I think Rory and Lorelai do have some wholesome moments.
Well, there's the one at the beginning.
Lorelai comes home and they're having that little like, oh, did you have a good date? And that type of thing, which I thought was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then another one that's, I think, kind of wholesome is when Rory and Paris are kind of talking a little bit.
Oh, that little back and forth.
The little back and forth where they're like, I'm here if you want to talk to me.
Yes.
Yeah, because, you know, once again, Rory's showing that she's actually very mature.
Yeah.
Once again.
Once again. She can put her feelings aside and be like, clearly Paris is going through something right now. If you ever want to talk.
Yeah. Like the way that she confronted Paris was done in like a very mature manner that I don't know that I would have been able to do in high school. You're like a manager, a trained manager of people level of how to give feedback to somebody. When you do this, it affects these things. Like, it's like, I don't know, very adult. Like, she's like, did you think about everyone that you were affecting with this? You affected Mr. Medina.
Right.
Like, you didn't, this isn't just me. Like, did you think about
Are you the school counselor?
Yeah, like, I don't know. It just felt, it was like, wow, that's mature. And then she's like, yeah, and if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here. That's a very mature thing to say to somebody that just like
totally
backstabs you, basically.
Right.
Like that was like an exact attack against you to hurt you. Like that's what that was. So
what can we say? Rory is sweet and mature and she's a good person.
She is. And I think I'm now realizing that I really want the two of them to be friends. Anytime the two of them have any interaction that I'm like, oh, they could be friends, like I get excited. So maybe I'm biased. I'm just like, oh, they're having a good interaction. They're having a positive interaction. Even though Paris was really mean this episode.
Yeah. But it could be something. It could be something. We'll see. I don't know.
Okay. Romantic moments and analysis.
Suki asking Jackson out was, that just made me happy.
Me too, actually. Mm-hmm. I like that. That wins for me. That's
it. Like,
the spotlight right there.
That's the spotlight. I mean, there's a stuff. I don't even want to highlight Max and Lorelai stuff. It wasn't romantic. It was upsetting.
No, because they had a weird date.
Yeah.
Then he came to the house, and then there was interactions with Rory that didn't need to happen. And then the whole thing at the school, like it wasn't anything like
it wasn't positive.
It wasn't good.
I don't like it.
No.
And they broke up, basically.
And then they broke up.
Yeah, so no.
Suki and Jackson.
Yeah.
All the way. All right. What were our favorite quotes this episode? I think that second one actually might win out over what I originally thought was my favorite, but that's okay.
Well,
I'm going to read through.
Yeah.
The zucchini tush quote.
Okay.
From Suki. You want me to serve my customers a genetically engineered vegetable named after a butt?
That one's really good.
It's just like, so good.
It's so
good.
I'm like, I'm almost like, that might be mine. I don't know. Because the one that I had down as my pick was, well, I'd take some dance classes because the way you express yourself needs some work. Like, that is good.
That's such a good comeback.
That is. I like both of those.
Yeah, both of them are really good. I need to do predictions.
What's predictions? Yeah.
I don't even know. I would like to go back to a little bit more of a Rory-focused episode after this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's going to swing me. It's going to swing back and forth. I'm doing this
funny... We're swinging.
I'm doing a body motion. We're going to swing. Lane wasn't in this episode at all. I'm forming a pattern of like whenever somebody's like not even in the episode at all, then I'm craving like what's going on with that person. Like that's what's starting to happen.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm feeling like, okay, do we need to revisit something with Lane next time? Something's going to go on with Rory and Lane? Just something. I don't know. Or like something with like Rory's friend dynamics in general.
Yeah.
Like Rory's social life. That's what I'm going to say. That will, something with Rory's social life will like occur. Something will be moved forward. Something, we'll learn something else about somebody or something.
Something will happen.
Way too vague. I think it's going to be Rory focused.
Okay. All right.
I think we'll move away from Lorelai for a little bit.
Yeah. Next episode is called Double Date.
Oh.
That could have a lot of meanings. We'll just have to see.
Double date.
We will just have to see.
We'll have to see. I don't know who's on the date.
Who's with who? Who knows?
Who's with who? Okay, I'm excited to go watch it.
It's a good one. All right, guys, that was episode 11, Paris is Burning. Next time we'll be covering episode 12, Double Date.
Thanks so much, everyone, for listening. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to us on whatever platform you are listening on.
And if you like our show and want some more content and interaction, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Sisters in Stars Hollow.
Until next time,
Keep the coffee flowing.